Council agenda, Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, Township Council Agenda Meeting of October the 3rd, 2023. Introduction. Posting of notice. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the requirements of the Open Public Meetings Law by filing the notice in the office of the Township Clerk and by posting the meeting notice on the bulletin board at the Municipal Building on December the 21st, 2022, where it has remained posted since that date. A legal notice appeared in the Daily Record and the Newark Star Ledger on December the 28th, 2023. Councilman Neglia, would you please lead us in the flag salute?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mr. Madden, may we have roll call, please?
Mr. Karifi?
Here.
Mr. DePiero?
Here.
Mr. Musella?
Here.
Mr. Neglia?
Here.
Ms. Grignani?
Yes, here.
Also in attendance are Mayor James Barbario, Business Administrator Jamie Cryan, Township Attorney Michael Lavery, and Municipal Clerk Colette Madden. Council President, we have a quorum. You may begin.
Thank you. Upcoming meetings, October the 17th, 2023 at 7 p.m. will be our regular meeting. November the 9th, 2023 at 7 p.m. is an agenda meeting. That meeting will be on Thursday due to the election. Approval of minutes for the agenda meeting 9/5/23 and the regular meeting 9/19/23. Mr. DePiero?
We're gonna do those now?
No.
No.
That will be approved at the next meeting.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. Presentation reports, Mayor Barbario?
Yeah, I'm gonna be pretty lengthy tonight, so, I'm gonna start off with the good news. We made a commitment to the schools to keep them safer, so we hired 2 more SLEOs. That's a Class 3 police officer for public safety in the schools. One will be, at Brookline Middle School, and the other will be going back and forth to the elementary schools. October, of course, is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I got my pin on from the PD. I want to thank them. Also, this Saturday at 3 p.m. at Town Hall, there'll be the Italian-American flag raising ceremony. We will have approximately 30 Puzzi di Stato from Italy coming. Just want to make you aware of that. Also, we're getting to the trunk or treat the next.
Is that why we're not doing it on Columbus Day?
On what? Well, they'll be going to New York.
So the reason we're doing it on Saturdays,
Yeah.
they can attend.
Yeah, because they're gonna be going to New York. We won't be able to. Also, if you saw the News 12, the Main Street, New Jersey, where they, went around town in certain areas in Parsippany that was designated in Lake Hiawatha. I think one in the Parliament area and sections here on, are the businesses in towns that are thriving, and it was really a pretty good report by News 12. And the Fall Festival was a really big hit this year. This is probably one of the most, I think, packed it's been since I've been mayor and since I was a councilman as well. We got a lot of accolades. The only thing was missing was Ferrera's and the Sons of Italy not making the sausage and peppers. A lot of people asked about that. I did bag for Help for Hunger at ShopRite. That's the, Feed the Hungry here in New Jersey and in Parsippany. And of course, on Monday is Columbus Day. And today we had at the community center, coffee with the mayor. Actually went very well. It was more towards assessments, crime assessments and what the seniors would be able to do in case they could start their own crime watch program, how to keep the houses safe. And on October 21st, we're going to have the township is going to have free shredded day. It'll be at Town Hall from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. We also want to discuss Meadow Bluff Road and Mountain Way. That's an area in the Powder Mill area where there was a lot of traffic, a lot of speeding, and we're going to be reaching out to the residents because we had the reporting that we did prior to that. We wanted to do another reporting on cars going back and forth. when school started. So we got the first week of school, so we pretty much know how much traffic is on those roads. And we have a recommendation we're gonna make to the residents. Now, this segment, I don't relish what I'm about to do tonight. I really don't wanna have to do it, but I got phone calls from several township employees to warn me about what's gonna happen maybe tonight, other nights. I reserved those tables for two individuals in general. One is Michael Smith, and the other is Craig Sanborn, because they're gonna come up and either speak and question, I guess, what we're doing and how we're doing it. And I was told that they have statements that were prepared by them, by Justin Masella. I don't know if that's factual, Justin, I have no clue. But if it is, it is, and if it isn't, it isn't. But if you gentlemen want to come up and speak tonight when we're going through a contract negotiation, I'm fine with that. But I will tell you this, when I became the mayor again, I became a township administrator. I came back here a lot more experienced. Okay, I respect our township employees, number one. I truly respect them. I understand what they go through. 8 years as mayor prior to that. I was a councilman. I worked as a business administrator with township employees. So, I encourage you to come up tonight, say whatever you wish, Michael, whatever you wish, Craig, because I'm going to respond, there's no doubt about it. And I'll tell you right now, we are ongoing contract negotiations. This could be considered a UPC, which is unfair practice charge, which can send down. I feel we are negotiating in good faith. Now, if you guys want to come up tonight, feel free, because some of the employees that called me up were pretty adamant, and were pretty much saying, listen, this is what's being said. Say it to my face tonight, feel free. I have no issue with it. You can bring whatever you want up to me. That's up to you. First and foremost, I'm going to say this to the council. The administration is the one that negotiates the contract. No council member, by state statute, is to be speaking to public workers with regards to what they want in the contract. That's violation of the statute of the Faulkner Act. Okay, now I'm being told some stuff that has been said, so we'll see if it's said tonight. I'm more than happy to go toe-to-toe. I have no issue with it whatsoever. But I would recommend, and I'm not your attorney, but I would go through my attorney and through your president of your union. You can look at me any way you want. I'm fine with that as well. But I reserve those seats for you if you do come up to speak, because we're going to respond tonight. There's no doubt about it. We are negotiating in fair practices here. Okay? When my BA goes in there and our labor attorney goes in there, they'll come back to me. And there's still an ongoing negotiation that's going on. Okay? So, I don't know where we are in the sense of how close we are, but I will get involved. Now I definitely will get involved in the negotiations. There's no doubt about it. I can't tell you how many contracts prior to when I was mayor. Then as a business administrator, I did 4 or 5 of them, and I'll do this contract as well. We have great public employees, from sanitation to water to utilities. Okay? I have never, ever in my time as mayor the first time been told the stuff that I was told at the street fair, come out of township employees' mouths. Well, now they have an opportunity to say it to my face. And I encourage you to say it to my face, because I respect you more. I will not respect you, though, when you do it at a town event, when you're being paid overtime by the township of Parsippany-Troy Hills. I don't respect you for that, if anybody here did that. But I don't like when residents are coming up to me saying so much talking bad about you, or another one employee saying the same thing. I'd rather you say it to my face. I have no problem with that. So, that being said, I want to say something else, that, one of the individuals up here wanted to privatize garbage. I didn't want to privatize garbage. Why? Because I know what it takes in sanitation. I ran a sanitation company. I know how hard it is. I know how hard you work. That is probably one of the hardest jobs to do. I get all that. Okay? That's a difficult job, and we're trying to make a fair, balanced contract. That's a difficult job. And why would I not want to ever privatize it? Because the residents will never, ever get that service from a private company, ever. What we do here in Parsippany, no other town does. You can ask our business administrator, in the towns that I was business administrator in, you got bulk pickup once a year. We do it every Friday here. And these gentlemen, they go out and they plow our streets when it's snowing. I get all that. We can't privatize garbage because we lose if we ever privatize it. We have a great water department. We have a great sewer department. Our streets are good. Our road department's great. So I don't know what happened here. I have no clue whatsoever. But I can tell you this much. No one's ever going to intimidate me. It's not going to happen. I will dig my heels in. You will get a fair contract over a course of time. But it has to be fair, not just for you, but for the residents of Parsippany-Troy Hills. A lot of members up here have a fiduciary responsibility to the residents of Parsippany. Okay? Well, I'll tell you right now, if I get a complaint from a resident and they say this and that, you know what I say to them? Well, you know, and I've done this before. You know, they throw my garbage cans around. They do this. I said, well, you know, at the end of the day, the gentleman on the back is lifting close to 15 to 16 tons. They're not throwing you garbage cans on purpose. They're tired. And I get that part. They're tired. But they still do their work. When it snows out, our streets are being plowed better than any town. I can say that firsthand because I was administrator of 3 other towns. We have a great workforce here. But I don't like, when I get to hear from other township employees at a street fair and prior to this, forget it. You say it to my face, or you're going to we're going to have some problems because it's not right. I don't do it that way. I don't work that way. You will get a fair contract over a course, over negotiating and stuff. If you don't want to negotiate and you want to come to these meetings and challenge me and administration, because that's what you have to deal with. You don't deal with any of the council members because that's in violation of the Faulkners Act. Okay? There's one administration, and one administration only, and that's my administration. The residents voted me in to run the town. They legislate. There's a difference. They legislate. And then you might talk in their ears, and they might come back and say things. We had a gentleman, we did a ribbon cutting, that came back and told me at the street fair that, you know, where's our raises? Where's this? Where's that? Because one council member went up to him and said something to him. I said, we're negotiating things. That's what we're doing. He understood. Now, I hope you understand tonight. I don't dislike any of you. I like you. All the things that you do for the town wouldn't be as good if you guys weren't here. But if you want to come up tonight and speak, I reserve those seats here for you. You get to the microphone and we will respond. If not, I would do it the proper way, through negotiations, through your attorney, through our attorney, and you will get a fair contract. Thank you.
Council President, I would just like to respond to what the mayor said. And I understand that this week has been a very difficult week for the mayor, and my heart does go out to him. And I understand that right now, if it were any other week, to make a false accusation against me, I would have much different words for the mayor. But to say without any basis in reality or fact that I have prepared statements for our township workers is a disgrace to say. That people can't make up their own minds, that people can't come here and listen to what we have to say, and to make an accusation against me when prior to this meeting, I met with your business administrator in private to provide feedback that could improve the entire town based off of what I was hearing at the Fall Festival. And I didn't want to do it.
Not about negotiation.
Obviously not about negotiations. And I agree with you. That's your responsibility. You are to negotiate a contract with them. That's not my responsibility. That's nobody's responsibility on the council. But I think it's really immature to make an accusation against me and also mention individual township employees who, all of whom do a good job for us. And that's really disappointing.
Well, you could be as disappointed as you wish, Councilman, but when I have township employees telling me that, and I didn't accuse you, I said, this is what was said. I didn't accuse you, because if I know if you did it, I would have been in your face prior to that.
You said,
I definitely would have been. I would have been. But that being said, I can see the eye contact. I've been doing this a lot longer than you. I don't even know if you're ever a laborer in your life, if you ever picked up anything heavy. I watch the eye contact you have at meetings. I see it. I'm not stupid. Okay? You can speak to them all you want, but when it comes to negotiations, I wouldn't do it. That's all I'm telling you. But they have an opportunity to come speak tonight. And they might say they didn't say that. Or you might not have said that, but other employees said that you did.
Well,
Okay, so that's it. We're not, you want to continue, I can go on and on.
I just think that we're much more mature than to act on the basis
Justin,
of
please, don't give me the
rumors and
mature stuff. You've been living in Parsippany for 3 years. I know this town like the back of my hand. I was at the street fair. I saw some of the gentlemen sitting at your booth for half an hour, talking with you. And they're on town time. But that's okay, they're allowed to do that because they're speaking with you. I want them out there working, especially the street fair.
May we go forward, please? Township Council, do we have any reports?
I do. Moving that aside, I would like to talk about some business tonight. I'm going to read a letter into the record from a resident that wanted to be here but couldn't. So his words are as follows. Once again, I'm requesting that you attend to the matter of the dangerous condition that exists at the Princess Street, Littleton Road intersection. My wife and I have been residents of Parsippany for over 55 years. For most of that time, we have been residents of the Hills of Troy community. We bear witness to the grinding, slow wheels of government and the perpetual cry that there are insufficient funds available to carry out one project or another. All too often, promises are made but not kept. Please do not kick the can down the road again. Consider the urgency of this matter before traffic increases exponentially from new housing developments occur. Your decision will impact the lives of men, women, and children, especially kids who ride on a school bus each day that exits Princess Street onto Littleton Road. Picture your own grandkids on a school bus entering this dangerous intersection. Would you be confident that their safety is secure? As I see it, the pandemic presented one positive aspect. Traffic throughout the township over the last few years decreased markedly, but that was then. We are now about to experience a new dynamic. Traffic will be adversely affected by the tsunami of housing developments in the town. It will alter the landscape and ultimately affect the safety and lives of many people. There is nothing that can be done with the number of units that will be created. At the least, let's do what we can to mitigate those areas that pose a threat to people. The new housing will exacerbate traffic conditions in town, especially at peak hours. Two separate consultants' reports initiated by the Morris County Chief Engineer and the Parsippany Chief Engineer confirmed that Littleton Road has a line of sight issue and that the topography of a portion of the area contributes to the dangerous conditions at the Princess Street Littleton Road intersection. A remediation project needs to be undertaken before the traffic worsens. The project should be considered a matter of grave urgency. It is time to find the resources for this remediation project before inflation makes the expenditure ever more costly as time marches on. Now is time to act. Please consider a joint venture between our municipality and the county in order to share the cost for this project. From Warren Singer, 23 Homer Street in Parsippany. So I just wanted to read that into the record. He had wanted to read it himself. It's been an issue that has been affecting a lot of residents in Hills of Troy, and hopefully as we prepare a new budget, we can strongly consider working with them to address the safety issue. The last thing I'll say separate from this is that during the Fall Festival, I did indeed speak with a lot of residents, and I gave that feedback to the business administrator, and I'll be compiling a list of individual residents who had issues with permits, business owners who had issues, and then some quality of life issues ranging from road conditions, potholes, cars on the lawn, inoperable vehicles parked on side streets, and I'll be sending that to the administration so those can be addressed, and that's my report.
Okay, I'm going to respond to Warren Singer since he didn't contact us. And we have responded to Warren Singer on many occasions. We actually met with him last year with regards to Princess Street. He knows the issue that's involved with that. He knows it. And he knows it's a difficult one because it is a county road, okay? We're working on it. Our engineer's working on it. But hopefully you vote on the budget next year, because we're gonna need to put a lot more money into our infrastructure for public safety. Okay, so that's, when it comes to that, so that's one thing we're gonna have to address. So, you know, when COVID hit, you got the American Rescue Plan money that the administration at that time did not use it for what it was supposed to be used for, infrastructure. So as you know, the infrastructure is lagging behind right now, and you know that. And maybe you should have said that to Mr. Singer. Our budget, we had budgetary constraints, and one of the budgetary constraints is in the capital. Okay, the capital was, every year when I was mayor, from 2010 to 17, we put close to $7 million in infrastructure repair. Well, when I came back, before I came back, they only put $1.8 million, and Mike DePiro, Councilman DePiro knows what happened there. $1.8 million in the infrastructure. So what do you think is going to happen? Nothing's going to get done because there's no money there. There's no money to bond or anything like that. That's why I wish a gentleman like Mr. Warren Singer would contact us. And I think we said this to him before. We're trying to get the funds in there. We're trying to do these things, but we're handcuffed because we put any more money in that budget, it keeps going up and up and up. We don't want to kill the taxpayers. You know, when I came back in 2022, everybody said, "Oh, the mayor raised it." Well, what are you going to do?
Mayor, the previous administration directed the township to freeze all capital expenditures in 2020 and 2021 and push them into 2022, which would be under your administration.
Of course.
So we were 2 years behind in capital expenditures for the roads, thanks to the previous administration.
The point I'm trying to make is the fact that in 2022, when I became the mayor, I'm going to reiterate this again, and I know it's painful to hear it again. We were $8.5 million in the hole. There was only two things you could do. One, and you guys, I told you, lay off 130 township employees, close the community center. That was another option altogether. This wasn't just 130 township employees, and it wasn't just, there was both at community center and that. Well, I had to figure this out, and I did pretty quick. How are we going to run the town without 130 township employees? We had to run the town, and I wasn't going to risk the fact that, okay, you're going to get a 2%, 3% tax increase. You're still going to get an increase, but you're going to get no services. So that's what happened. And the Democrats aren't even here tonight. And this segues me into one more thing. Because the Democrats, I got phone calls from Glenmont Commons residents over there with regards to their road. And what's happening over there is they're promising that if they get elected, that they will do the roads, they will repair all the roads in Glenmont Commons for roads we don't even own. So what would happen in that situation? Well, we don't own the roads, but we're gonna fix them for you. Then any other private developer is gonna say, hey, you owe us money. You owe us money. If you're gonna do it for one developer, you gotta do it for them all. So, not that we don't want to fix Glenmont Commons, they're not our roads to fix. And once they get fixed and repaired the proper way, they can dedicate the streets to the township. And then we would be responsible. As of right now, if we do that, you're gonna have an albatross of developers coming to us, especially you take the Lanadex project that's gonna be done. Hey, listen, you're gonna owe us money for paving. You got the Cherry Hill one, you're gonna owe us money for paving. But we can't risk that. They're not here tonight to defend themselves, but they can hear the tape tomorrow and they can come back to the next meeting.
Township Attorney, Mr. Lavery? Excuse me.
We're not done with Township Council yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just waiting my turn. The Green Hills Shopping Center. It's been burned out for over 2 years, and we haven't done anything to force the owners of those buildings to either take them down or rebuild them. They should be receiving summonses and fines that escalate. It's been 2 years and they've done nothing. It's an eyesore and it's a hazard.
Okay.
Who do we assign that to?
Well, at first I would speak to the township attorney with regards to, before we summon anybody. I know it's 2 years. I don't know what the state statute is. Mike, maybe you would know.
Well, it depends on the condition of the property. For instance, under the construction code, if there's a dangerous condition there, it needs to be either closed up or a fence put around it, depending on the circumstances, and then if...
They have a fence,
Yeah. So if it's sealed off,
but we have a property maintenance code.
all right, well, the property maintenance code, then you could write them up under that.
Exactly.
Even if they're condo units, perhaps they're individually condos?
Well, you could either, if there's an association that owns it or runs it, then you could write them to the association. If they're individual condo units, then you could write them to the individual condo owners. If they're, I don't know what the circumstances are. We'll certainly take a look at it, whether it's
I heard they're individual owners.
So if they're individual owners.
But 2 years is long enough to do something.
Right, and I don't know, I guess the condos are burnt down, and so might be community areas there that are owned too. But yeah, you could write them to the, each individual condo owner.
I think some of the issues that you have with this is just the mere fact that after all this took place and COVID hit, don't forget, supplies hard to get, money's not there any longer, the bondings went up and the rates went up. And I think a lot of these individuals that own that property just don't have the money to do it. But I get what the councilman's saying, they have to do something minimal, at least to make it aesthetic. But that's what you're under. I mean, I know some of these developments that are being built now are under constraints right now because of the rates of lending went up significantly.
Anyone else on the council? Township Attorney Slavery?
No report tonight, Council President.
Business Administrator, Mr. Cryan?
Thank you, Council President. Just a couple of things that are on the agenda that's before you tonight and at the next meeting. One of them is the authorizing of appointment of 2 new special law enforcement officers, Class 3, Ed Lepre and Danny Scala. Danny worked for the Parsippany Police Department for over 25 years and retired in good standing. And Ed is a Lake Hiawatha resident who recently retired as a detective from the Hoboken Police Department. Both are incredible assets, or will be incredible assets to our team, getting years and years of experience and not having to pay the full weight of that experience since they are retired. It's a great opportunity for us. Also, another item on the agenda is confirming the appointment and awarding contract for professional consulting and engineering services to Joe Beckmeyer Consultants. Joe has been with the town since 2015. He does an incredible job for us. I was very grateful when he decided that he wanted to come back for another year, because that is an incredibly difficult position to fill. He is the S4, C4, NJDEP wastewater treatment collection license operator. So he has credentials that are very difficult to obtain, and he's doing a great job for us. We get his experience, probably over 40 years of experience in water and wastewater, for a fee that is probably well below what other municipalities would be paying for these services. And we do it without having to pay for pension contributions, without having to pay for health benefits or anything like that. So thank you for considering this resolution that's on there. The other item I have is the FEMA and the FCC are planning a nationwide emergency alert test for tomorrow at around 2:20. Messages will be sent to TVs, radios, and cell phones. So if you don't know about this, don't be alarmed. Just wanted, Morris County OEM has sent us messages. Our OEM has sent out messages wanting to make sure people are aware that this will be coming. That's all I have there.
Thank you. Township Clerk, Mr. Madden?
Yes, Council President. Just really quickly wanted to update the council and the public on the status of some of the services conducted in my office. To date, we have processed 739 OPA requests. We've issued 927 marriage licenses, 1,657 dog licenses, and 67 bingo and raffle licenses. That concludes my report, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any township offices committee reports? There is no correspondence. Bids taken on 9/21/23, well redevelopment services of wells 18 and 19, and pumping system replacements for wells 18 and 19. There are none to be taken, and there are no quotations. May I entertain a motion to open the public session, please?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Karifi, second by Mr. Neglia. Roll call, Mr. Karifi?
Yes.
Mr. DePiero?
Yes.
Mr. Musella?
Yes.
Mr. Neglia?
Yes.
Ms. Grignani?
Yes.
The floor is open to the public on any matter. You have 5 minutes to speak. You can come on up, sir. Just state your name.
Hi, my name is Bill Donnelly. I live at 33 Dakota in Lake Hiawatha. Good evening, Your Honor, distinguished counsel. I would just like to bring a topic to your attention. Sign in after. I live right on Dakota Avenue, down the street from Volunteers Park, and I want to call your attention to the fire that took place in Volunteers Park, the playground set, May 23rd of this year. Someone set fire to that playground. It's a complete mess, and it's been that way for 4.5 months. May I pass this up to you?
Yes.
Here's a photograph, the day of the fire, just to document the fire. And the next picture I took today, I did not take that first picture, but the next picture I took today, just showing the condition of it. And yes, there is an orange plastic temporary fence around the whole playground, but I feel that screams out to children, come and explore this. It doesn't keep anyone out. It encourages children to climb all over a dangerous playground. So I want to bring that to your attention and ask what the plan is. Nothing has been done to clean it up, take it away, replace it, and I think a lot of time has gone by. So I'd like to leave that with you to consider, please.
I'm going to have the business administrator respond to that. We're aware. It does go through an insurance, and I can't really talk about the situation because it's still under investigation, but he can clarify more with regards to when it's going to be repaired.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right.
Mr. Donnelly, the park is unfortunate that it burned down, and it was burned down. It's with the courts. We are working with Morris County on that part of it. An insurance claim has been filed, and we are waiting to recoup some funds so we can rebuild. That's where it is, and I'm sorry it's taken so long, but the process takes long.
Yeah, it is a terrible eyesore, and the
Yeah.
entire summer has come and gone, and parents and children have not been able to use it.
Yeah, we're disappointed, I mean,
Yeah.
that was, vandals did that, it was kids who did it, probably just playing around, and it went bad. Hopefully, the intention wasn't to burn the whole thing down, but they burned the whole thing down,
Yes.
and hurt everybody else in the process from being able to play on it and enjoy it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you,
Bill.
Mr. Donnelly.
Mr. Donnelly, you want your pictures?
Sure, would you like them?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
If it'll help anyone to think about it.
Nick Homiak, from Lake Hiawatha. And because of the mayor, I discovered that the council is responsible for the appointment of the zoning board of adjustments. But I'd like to say that community depends on caring public and concerned individuals. And I believe that our present zoning board of adjustments is not concerned. And the reason is, right now, we are in Highlands conformance, but Highlands conformance or not, we have available tools from an official website, the best science assessment about any landscape that you can find. This zoning board has deemed these official advanced property reports and interactive maps. First, they were called internet hoaxes, which was pretty bizarre. And then the director asked me if I could get something from a higher authority other than myself, which I did. I got a letter, official letterhead from the director of the Highlands Council, Ben Spinelli, explaining that these available tools are what in fact they should be using. Not only are they available to the public, but they should be using them. And they're not. And after that letter, I sent it return receipt requested, certified mail. I didn't hear anything back. I waited 2 weeks. I went back to the board, and I was told that they had, not the board had discussed it, because I asked in my letter that the board be made aware of this letter. Apparently, it was only between the director and the secretary. And I got it from reliable sources that they were never made aware of this letter. And not only that, but it was only kept between the secretary and the director. So there's something going on. But if you want to make a landscape decision, how it's going to benefit, is it either good for everybody or not good, or it should be de-escalated, or it really doesn't fit in with the landscape, and to be told that these available tools, science, is invalid or an internet hoax, something should be done about that. So what I would ask this council to do is contact the director, Mr. Benjamin Spinelli himself, or at the very least, get in contact with Mary Jude Haddock Weiler, our Highlands liaison. But Highlands or not, these reports are available to the public so they can learn. It's like an x-ray. You can see into the land, steep slopes, water recharge. Anything you want to know about the land is right there. So that should not be. And what it does actually is it favors the developer against the community. And the boards in this town are supposed to, I would think, first and primary, represent the community against any property owner, especially if his proposal is, like I said, out of scale or inappropriate, or it could damage our water even further. So what I made a copy for each and every one of yous, and I would like an answer sometime, or like I said, have someone contact the Highlands Council, Mr. Spinelli, or your local Highlands liaison. And not for anything, but these guys here, after the event on Saturday, North Beverwick Road was cleaner than I saw it in a long time. I didn't even see a paper. So whatever they did that day, they did a really good job, and especially after the event. So I'd like to give them credit for that.
Thank you,
I'd
Nick.
like to, I have one for each, including Mr. Lavery.
Very kind.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to come up and speak, please?
How are you today? I'm Craig Sanborn. I just want to kind of come up here and set the record straight. We're not here to be adversarial at all. I had heard that somebody had a comment for you at the street festival. That does not reflect our opinion of anything. I've met you, Mayor Barbario, several times. You've been pleasant every time. I have zero reason to be, to think that anything should change. When we see Jamie and Ramon at negotiations, it's very pleasant. We're here because our membership wants to just know what's going on within the town. They feel that we should be present at some of these meetings to listen, to hear what's going on, and just kind of get a pulse of where we stand, what's going on in the town. It's not necessarily, we're not here to dig our heels in. We're not here to go to toe-to-toe with anybody at all. I don't know where that came from, but that's not what we're about at all. I feel like, we've asked that our members that if they do want to attend a council meeting, that they come here respectfully, that they listen, they observe things, that's really it. I don't want to get tied up with any kind of adversarial thing, because that's not what we're about. I've only been involved with the union I've been a union member for all 16 years that I've worked for this town, but I've only been an officer since last January. So this is all new to me. I've never been involved in a negotiation. This is not a part of it at all for us. That happens on another day at, times that we discuss to meet with you guys elsewhere, here.
Well, then what I'll do is I will have a conversation with just you and I, because a lot of stuff that I heard is contrary to what you're saying, but we can have definitely a conversation. I have no problem with you guys coming here whatsoever. You want to know what's going on in the town? That's great. I mean,
We do have, we have many guys that, obviously work in this town, they live in this town,
I know most of them. I grew up in town myself.
See.
So, I know.
Believe me, if I thought that us coming here was gonna hurt our chances, I'd be the first one to tell people that is not the move.
Well, here's what I'll tell you. Your next negotiation.
Sure that you know that.
Right, and next negotiation, I will be in that room with you guys.
That'd be great.
Okay, so, and we can have dialogue that way. Okay, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else would like to get up and speak?
Motion to close?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. DePiero, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
Yes.
Floor is closed.
Ordinances for introduction. Ordinance 2023:23. An ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills adopting the 2 and 3 Campus Drive redevelopment plan. Be it resolved that the above ordinance be introduced, read by title, and passed on first reading at a meeting of the Township Council of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills held on October 3rd, 2023, and that said ordinance be further considered for second reading and final passage at a meeting to be held on October 17th, 2023 at 7 p.m. prevailing time, or as soon thereafter as the matter may be reached at the municipal building in said township, at which time all persons interested shall be given an opportunity to be heard concerning said ordinance. Be it further resolved that the clerk be authorized and directed to advertise said ordinance with the notice of introduction thereof being published in the official newspaper according to law. Motion to approve the above resolution by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. DePiero, seconded by Mr. Karifi or Mr. Neglia?
Mr. Negli.
Okay, Mr. Neglia. Roll call, Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Grignani. Ms. Grignani.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Second reading and public hearing, ordinance 2023:20. An ordinance of the Township
Miss-
Council of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills, County of Morris, State of New Jersey, amending Chapter 430 zoning, Section 430-267, Development Regulations of the Code of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills. Ordinance 2023:21. An ordinance of the Township Council of the Township of Parsippany-Troy Hills adopting the Block 737, Lot 3 redevelopment plan. Non-consent agenda, please.
Resolution 2023-135, authorizing the appointment of 2 new special law enforcement officers, Class 3. Motion to approve the resolution by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Karifi, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call. Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
yes,
Motion passes.
R 2023-136, authorizing change order number 2 for the Craftsman Farms Log House Kitchen Restoration and Annex Rehabilitation. Motion to approve the resolution above by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Musella, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call. Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
yes,
Motion passes.
Resolution 2023-137, approving an escrow agreement with the District of 1515 Urban Renewal Second LLC. Motion to approve the resolution above by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Neglia, seconded by Mr. Karifi. Roll call. Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
yes.
Motion passes.
Consent agenda resolutions, please review.
Approval of payroll bills list. CFO Leonard Ho recommends authorization for payments. 1, authorize payment of the October 13th, 2023 regular and miscellaneous payroll estimated at $1,650,000. Item 2, payment of bills from voucher list of 10/1/23 through 10/3/23 is $1,702,526.21. Motion to approve the authorization for payment above by myself.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. DePiero, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call. Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
Yes,
Motion passes.
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Karifi, seconded by Mr. Neglia. Roll call. Mr. Karifi.
Yes.
Mr. DePiero.
Yes.
Mr. Musella.
Yes.
Mr. Neglia.
Yes.
Ms. Grignani.
yes.
We're adjourned. Have a good night, everyone.
Meeting, Joe.